This is not clickbait at all. I know that it might seem a little bit incredulous to believe that you can make 30K in a month, but I'm telling you, I promise you, no matter who you are, no matter what your skill set is or what your experience is, I promise you, you could make 30K this next month if you listen to what I'm saying in this video. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to. Don't get me wrong here. And I'm not even suggesting this is the best way to create a business, but I just want to demonstrate to you to help you overcome these limiting beliefs. Because once you start overcoming these limiting beliefs, that's what's going to allow you to actually make a lot of money in life and to build a business. I was just talking to one of my friends about this, about how we live in a different world than most people live in. Me and him, we don't go to work. We don't go and sit in a cubicle. We don't put money in our 401k and work a 9-to-5 job. Like, we can do whatever we want to do, and we make a lot more money. And this was not the reality that I ever thought was possible until I got rid of the limiting beliefs. I started talking to entrepreneurs who were making money, who were building businesses online. I started talking to real estate investors who were investing in real estate, and I started doing those things, and then that became my reality. It's a paradigm shift. Paradigm shifts are extremely powerful, and you have to have that in order to be successful in life. Peter Thiel wrote a book called 0 to 1. It's about this kind of thing. It's about big shifts that happen in your thinking that completely change the way that things work and completely change the profitability of something. So if you really want to start making a lot more money in your life, if you really want to change the quality of your life, you have to have these paradigm shifts. It has to happen. Okay, so that's something I'm going to try and give you today is a big paradigm shift around making money and building a business. If you disagree with me here, leave a comment. But I just want to show you a thought experiment, an example of how you could make $30,000 in 1 month if you wanted to do this. First of all, let's break down the numbers. If you want to make $30,000 in 1 month, what does that mean? It means that you need to make $1,000 a day. Let's just simplify things and let's make it so you have something that you're going to sell for $500. Now, if you have a job, you probably have some kind of service that you could sell for $500, whether that be training someone to be able to get a job like you or something that you learned from your job. There's probably some kind of value that someone would pay $500 to learn from you. If you can't think of something like that, you probably need to work on building yourself so that there is something like that. But let's say that you're a software developer, for instance. I know a lot of you guys that follow my channel, you're software developers. Can you not imagine that someone would pay you $500 for some kind of training that you could give them? Even if you don't have a huge amount of experience, but let's say for brand new software developers, people that want to get into the software development field, could you not come up with something that would be worth $500 that someone would say, yeah, it was worth paying $500? Maybe it's just one-on-one that you're teaching them for a couple hours a week or something like that. But my whole point is that you could find something that you could charge $500 for. Now, if you don't have a skill set and you're like, no one would ever pay me $500 for, then my next question is there not something that you could buy at a wholesale price that you could mark up $500 and make a profit on? There's plenty of products. Let's take an electronic bike, for example. Let's say we want to, make $30,000. So you're going to buy essentially 60 of them. Now, you might not have the money to buy 60 of them. That's fine. Maybe you could buy one per day and then you could sell it. We could do it that way if you want to as well. I just want to give you the example here so that you can see what I'm talking about. So now imagine that you went out and all day, all you did was you went out to the busiest location that you could find in your city and you stopped every single person that walked by and you said, hey, I have this electric bike here. It's awesome. It's a brand new electric bike. I'm just starting an electric bike business and I'd love to give you a ride on it. You can try it out. Would you be interested in an electric bike? It would help with your commute. If you talk to every single person and you did this for 8 hours during the day, do you not believe that you could sell 2 bikes? You probably could, right? Or again, if we didn't do electric bikes, if you had some other kind of service, do you not believe that you could reach out on people on LinkedIn or just cold DM people on Instagram that had a affinity towards whatever product or service that you were selling? You could do the same thing with electric bike. You don't even have to go out into the street. Do you not believe that if you spent 8 hours a day just contacting as many people as you could, that you could not sell 2? You probably could. So that's $1,000 a day right there. And you could just repeat that every single day for 8 hours a day. That's it right there. You could literally do that. Now, maybe you're like, oh, John, I don't know. I couldn't make $1,000 a day. Could you make 100? Could you sell something for $50 and sell 2 of those a day? You could. right? So you could make $3,000 a day. But what I want you to understand about this is that you could make $300,000 a month if you wanted to, because you could find something that you could sell for $5,000 and you could sell 2 of those a day. This is the whole point of this whole exercise, is that what's stopping you from making money, it's not that you can't make money. It's that you have a limiting belief around this. Again, some of you are going to disagree with me and it's fine, but many of you will realize that there's something that you could create from your experience, from your knowledge, whether it even be you spending time coaching someone, that would be worth $500 to them. And you could definitely, if you spent 8 hours a day trying to work on talking to as many people as possible, you'd have to figure out some way to find leads. That might be going door to door. It might be DMing people on Instagram. It might be messaging people on LinkedIn. But you could probably figure out a way to contact enough people in a day to fill up your day so that you could spend 8 hours contacting people, and you would probably be able to make 2 sales a day. You probably could make more than that. So again, is this the best way to build a business? No, it's not necessarily the best way to build a business. Do I recommend that you do something like this? No, I don't necessarily recommend that you do this. I recommend that you maybe try this for a day or 2 just to see, because when you actually accomplish this goal and realize this, and let me tell you, okay, I'm telling you from experience here, because some of what I'm saying here, you might think is contrived. You might think, John, you know what you're talking about. I don't have a skill I could sell for $500. I can't source an electric bike, whatever. It's fine. But let me tell you what happened to me. See, I was part of this mastermind group. It was a bunch of us that were developers that were trying to become entrepreneurs. And one day we came up with this idea of this 24-hour challenge. The idea was that you had to make $100 in a day with nothing. You could start with nothing. You couldn't use any kind of email list or audience that you already had. You just had to come up with something and figure out how to make $100 online in 24 hours. 3 of us did this challenge. And what I came up with was a product which I way underpriced called How to Market Yourself as a Software Developer, because I was learning how to market myself as a software developer. I started doing some podcasts and some blogs and stuff. And I thought, you know what? Someone might pay me $75 for this product. And I didn't even create the product yet. I was just going to pre-sell this product. And I way underpriced it, because I could have sold this for $500 for sure. So what I did was I wrote up an article about how you're being underpaid as a software developer, and I posted on some news sites, and it got some traction. And then I went to Google Groups, and I started messaging people on there, and I started messaging people on LinkedIn. And by the end of the 24-hour period, I had sold 5 copies at $75. Now, that's not a huge amount of money. But what I realized when I actually launched a product and sold it for $300 was that I way undercut myself, that I could have made $1,500 that day. And I could have repeated that every single day if I wanted to. So I had this moment where I shattered this limiting beliefs. And once I did, it changed everything for me, because immediately after that, you know what I did? Once I had 5 people that bought this product, pre-bought this product before I'd even created it for $75, I went and I created the product. And I sold that product. And in the first launch of that product, in the first couple of days of selling that product, I made $25,000 in just a couple of days. That was the most money I'd ever made in that short period of time. And that completely changed my life. That's what actually helped me become a millionaire, helped me build the business that I have today and the business I have today, and really completely changed my life. But it took that eye-opening moment. So maybe this video is that eye-opening moment for you. I hope it is. And I hope you do take a challenge. Go out there and try to make $1,000 in a day. Or try to make $500 in a day. Take one day off from work. Come up with the concept of some kind of idea that you're going to pitch, and go out there and spend 8 hours or 10 hours in one day talking to as many people as possible and pitching that idea. I want you to try that. If you try that, I want you to come back to this video. I want you to report your success. Go ahead and leave a comment. If you fail, report your failure here. Let's learn from this. But if you do this exercise, it will change your life, I promise you. And hopefully just watching this video and understanding that this is possible will in some way change your mindset, because that's what it takes. Remember, I talked about at the beginning of this video, you need a paradigm shift. And yeah, you might not agree with everything I'm saying. And sure, maybe the numbers don't work on electric bikes, or forget about those things. Just understand the point that you could probably find something that you could sell for X number of dollars. And if you literally went and talked to people all day, you could sell at least a few of those things. And if you could do that in one day, you could do that every single day, and you could make that money. So there's nothing that's stopping you from making $300,000 a year. There's nothing that's stopping you except for up here. If you don't believe me, test it out. Actually try it, and then come back to me and say, hey, John, I tested it out, it didn't work. But I guarantee you, if you do test it out, you will find That does work. All right, now if you want some help with this, with business, with growing your business, check out the Bulldog Mindset. There's a link for the membership down below. I'm not going to push it really hard in this video because I don't need to. Because if you hear what I'm saying and it makes sense to you, then you already know. Now, if you want some extra steps, if you want to learn how to truly build financial independence, send me an email with the words, I want to dig a well. All right, I have a program that I am opening slots every once in a while. There's not a lot of slots open right now at the time of recording this, called The Well That Never Runs Dry. It's a complete financial freedom program. It is a high ticket program, so it is an expensive program, but I teach you how to become financially free. I teach you how to overcome the mindset limitations that you have and how to build a real business, how to invest in real estate, how to do all those things. So go check that out. If you want to, again, email me with I want to dig a well, and I'll send you more info on that. If you haven't joined the Bulldog Mindset membership, I definitely encourage you to join that and try what I'm telling you here. Try the experiment, see what happens. Just one day, take one day off work or do it on a Saturday and spend all day trying to sell something and see what happens. Make the price point at least $500 and see what happens. Go ahead, report the results. I'm curious. I've had people do this before, and I already know what's going to happen. So go ahead and try it.